Hello, this is Jeff Byers, your instructor for Module 1, ANI 150, Introduction to 3D Animation, and you have just completed all of your Sci-Fi Crate modeling video tutorials for the base model and the high poly model, and now you're ready to work in Mudbox. So what I need you guys to do is download the ANI 150 Mudbox JPEG zip folder. When you do that, you will see this. Okay? You'll see this. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to right click over it and go to Open with Windows Explorer. Copy it and paste it on your desktop. It's not very big. I think it's like something like 40 megabytes or something like that. Okay, go ahead and close it. Let's take a look at what we got in there. So I've got these are called alpha maps, and they're grayscales. These are grayscale maps from black to white, and anything that's black will be pushed in, anything white will be pushed out. So pushed in is black, pulled out is white. That's how it works. Pretty simple, easy. If you look at some of these objects, they don't look like much, meaning that it's hard to understand what's happening here, but think of it as, again, anything black is pushed down. So anything in between, any gray between, you can see that building up. So you can kind of see that this will be pushed out and this will really be sticking out, and then this will be pushed back in again. You can create these alpha maps in Photoshop or even free software like GIMP. And you can create your own, which is a lot of fun, actually. So we see some other alpha maps in here, and you can see, and this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to use to get the detail that we want to see in our crates. So I've given you some free alpha maps that you guys can play with and use. These are bolts, and some of these are really fun. And I would suggest that we're gonna use these just to kind of play with what you can do, and you can see that some of these are very intricate and complex, and would be a lot of fun to use, and hopefully you guys will find use for them, and I'm sure you will. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of them, but what we want to do is you want to kind of look at all of them and find the ones that you would like to use on your crate. We've got vents. Vents are really nice. I think I'm going to start with the vents. So all the vents, I need to get those into the right directory. So we need to add these to the Mudbox directory. So if you've installed Mudbox, then we're going to install these into the directory. So I'm going to go ahead and copy those. So go ahead and copy those and go to Documents, and if you install Mudbox, you should have this Mudbox 2020, and then Data, and then we're going to look at the stamps. Okay, now you can see I've got some in there already, which is cool. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and paste those in there. Now if it doesn't let you paste into the stamps folder, this is something you might have to do. So I'll go into Documents and Mudbox and 2020 and Data and Stamps. I'm going to right click over that and go to Properties. I'm going to go to Security, and you can see that I created a new folder. Okay, what I do is I click on to change permissions. Okay, click on Edit. Okay, we want to add, and you can just type in everyone. Okay, everyone, and I'm going to put a 01 next to it. Click OK. Right. Click OK. Oh, remove everyone. Oh, okay. It doesn't like that. Alright, so I guess we just gotta do everyone A. Okay. Alright. I guess it had a problem with that. I guess I already typed it. If you just type in everyone, just click OK. And it should put it in there. And then then you see it in there, and just go ahead and click on there. And then you want to make sure you allow everything. Okay. Alright, since I've already done it, it won't let me do it again. So that should work for you. If you have questions or something, let me know. Again, my office hours are basically I'm online checking my emails Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9 a.m. at 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. So you can catch me basically 12 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm going to be checking my emails again at 9 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. And I only answer text messages. Please do not try to get me on the phone. I won't answer. I'll check your text message, and then you can send me an email. Alright. Fantastic. So copy and paste the stamps you would like to put in there. Okay, so now that you have this, you can put this on your hard drive or whatever, and you can go ahead and place these objects onto your stamps folder in the documents folder, again under Mudbox 2020 data and stamps. Okay, so now we're back in Maya. So open up your Sci-Fi Crate and make sure your high poly is on. And what we want to do is we want to UV map this, because one of the things that Mudbox that I found out, I use ZBrush. I'll be honest with you, I use ZBrush all the time. But ZBrush is not free, but Mudbox is, and we can do all the stuff that we need to do in Mudbox. So I wanted to do that for you guys. Again, I'm learning Mudbox. I know ZBrush like the back of my hand, but Mudbox is a little different. And usually we don't need to UV map the high poly in ZBrush, but in Mudbox it wants it UV mapped. So we're kind of stuck. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a really quick, fast way that we normally do not UV map the high poly. It actually causes problems if you do. But so what we're going to do is we're just going to UV map it for Mudbox to make it happy. So up at the top, we're going to go to UV, we're going to go to automatic, and we're going to click on the option box. In the option box, we're going to click on Edit Reset Settings, and we're just going to click on Project. That's how simple this procedure is. Okay, once that's done, you'll see this funky little thing going on here, and I want you to click on UV and UV Editor. And so there it is. There's the all the UVs unwrapped automatically for us in a nice neat row. So that should give us some really nice results. So click off of that, and I want you to click off of this anywhere in the gray area, and I want you to right click on it, go to selection mode. Okay, so now we're done. So the only thing we need to do now is we need to go up here to the icon under rendering tab. Well, don't click on the rendering tab, it needs to be on the poly modeling, but it's under the word rendering, and click this tab right here, which is delete by type history, and then freeze transformation, so we get everything cleaned up. Click anywhere off, and then click back on, and go to selection mode. Alright, so when that's selected, okay, we're going to go to File, Export, Selection, Option Box, and we're going to need to be OBJ Export, and then Export Selection. Now if you don't see OBJ Export, then you want to go into Windows, Settings Preferences, Plugin Manager, and make sure it's loaded in here. You just have to find it. Okay, if you're not sure, just click on Load Autoload all the way down on everything. If you can't find it, just autoload it, and then click Browser Refresh or Close, whatever. and that will load it up for you so you can do that. So let's go to, make sure it's selected, File, Export Selection, and OBJ. Make sure you select it, and Export Selection, and you can see that I've got a bunch of them in here already, but I want one that's specifically named JBuyer Sci-Fi Crate High Poly _ Mudbox. Make sure you type in Mudbox in there. Click on Export. I've already exported this and created this. So click on Export Selection, and then we're ready for Mudbox. So I'm going to go into Open Up Mudbox. Okay, cool. And so this comes up. Welcome. What do you want to do? Well, I probably would have you guys just look what I had to do. Go in there and type in how to navigate. Now, when you first open up Mudbox, hopefully when it asks you what kind of interface you wanted to use, you picked Maya. So, and I haven't figured out if you didn't click on Maya for the interface hotkeys, how to get back in there, and I will maybe place that into between now and Monday, which is coming up quickly, how to do that. But if you forgot, what I would do is just click and watch all these 1-minute videos. You don't have to watch all of them, like the start posing and the using multi-touch. Just do the first 3 or 4, and then click on Cube. The cube, and then I have it set up for Maya, so I'm going to hold the Alt key down. I'm going to move around in here so I feel comfortable in Maya, using Maya in the interface. You can see we've got this little box up here. Maya used to have that too, and I think they still do, but I think it's hidden. But I can go to the front view and click on the front view, and it will basically place it right in the front so you can paint and do some stuff. You can rotate by holding down the Alt key and the left mouse button in here. Okay, I'm going to keep it in the 3D view for now. Okay, just to kind of let you know how things are working, if you want to import your sci-fi crate, you would go to File, Import, and import it. But we just want to play with the cube now, right now, but eventually when we want to start sculpting on and adding detail to our sci-fi crate, this is how you would do it. You would go to Import and then find your mesh that you saved out of Maya. So it's pretty simple in here. We've got the UVs, the UV view. This shows us the UVs, how the UVs are laid out, and then the image browser I haven't even used yet, but the 3D view is kind of fun. Alright, so when you have all your stamps in, you have to actually place them into the stamp. This is where the stamps, we have stamps, stencil, fall off, material presets, lighting presets, camera bookmarks. I'm not really going to get into any of this stuff. I'm really going to focus on one particular thing today, and that's detailing our sci-fi box. I'm not here to make you a master at Mudbox. That's really up to you if you want to become a master at Mudbox. I definitely don't want to become a master at Mudbox because I'm a master at ZBrush. I'm only using Mudbox because it's free for you guys. If ZBrush was free, I'd be using that because ZBrush is way, way more powerful than Mudbox. We can get our job done in Mudbox, but ZBrush is way more powerful. So with that said, I just learned enough to be very dangerous in Mudbox, and you will too. Hopefully eventually you guys can buy ZBrush and start playing with it, because we will be using that in our ZBrush class, okay, so in our digital sculpting class. But here I'm just showing you some fun stuff in Mudbox just to make your crate more fun and more detailed and interesting to look at. Alright, with that said, let's go ahead and see, let's go to the Sculpt Tools and get you kind of an idea what's going on here. Let's go to the Stamp tool, and let's go to like this strange coral tiled TIFF. So click on that, and you can see what the imprint stamp here, the imprint, I can go in here and I've got mirror on, so let's turn that. That usually comes in off, In fact, let's go ahead and just reset this tool here. So just reset, click on reset right here under the stamp. And we want to use the stamp. If you don't, it won't use the stamp. So reset. And that's good to start off with. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that on there. And you can see that's what it looks like. Okay. Now notice that it's very, very low polygon. Okay, so Control Z back. Okay. And let's go to the front. Let's just kind of really focus on the front part. We don't have any mirroring or anything like that, so it's not going to go over the top of it. And so the idea now is that you see that it's really, really deep. So let's kind of scroll up here. You got that little scroll bar on the side. And the size is okay. The strength is way too much. So I'm going to go to 2. Something like 2. And then I'm going to do this again. Put it in the middle and draw it out. Okay. And let go. And it's like a stamp. Alright, now it's still really ugly. Okay, but I got it more centered. Okay. So I'm going to go Control Z. Alright, there we go. So let's go back to the front. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add more detail to this box. So hold your Shift key down and your D key, and you can see we're at a level 5. Okay, 24,000 now. I'm going to go Shift D. And up here it says 98,000. I'm going to go to Shift D 7, 393,000 polygons, and then Shift D one more time. Level 8, 1,572,864. Wow. Okay, that's cool. We should have a lot of detail now. And look at that. Here we go. And let go. And look at the detail. Excuse me. Look at the detail in that. That is amazing. Okay, that's very, very cool. Right. So like Maya, I can zoom in and look at it. That is really cool. Look at that. You can see that would be kind of like skin or something like that, or whatever you want it to be. That's pretty cool. I think that's neat. So there is brushes that you can kind of play with, and you can build on top of each other. I'm going to Control Z back. I'm going to go back into the front mode, and this time I'm going to hold the Control key down and get in the middle. Here we go. Just do a little section there. And now it's pushed in. Look at that. Now it's pushed in. Okay. All right. So now we need to Control Z back. There we go. Now that you know that you can use the stamp tool, now let's go ahead and let's load our own stamps in here. Again, I want to spend a whole lot of time telling you about everything about Mudbox, but I do think if some of the hotkeys is Shift D to add more resolution or subdivisions. Don't go too far. And then if you want to back that up a little bit, so if I go PG up, okay, PG up is on my keyboard. Where is it at on the keyboard? Well, it's by the Insert, INS, Home, Delete, and End, and right next to those 4 keys you have your PG up or page up, and then PG down, page down. So if I click on PG down, level 5, I can go all the way down. But again, it doesn't give me it gives me a very low resolution. That's not really acceptable. So I'm going to go PG up again to level 5, 6. Looks like I'm at level 6 now. I'm going to go a little higher on that. Shift up. There we go, 7 and 8. I'm going to get up to 1,000,000 polygons. With that, I can hold the B key down and make my brush bigger or smaller if I want to. For the stamp, for the imprint tool, it doesn't really do much. Okay, that's not going to make any difference what the brush size is. Brush is mainly for the painting tools and stuff like that, but we're just going to be using the imprint for now. Alright, I'm kind of running out of time with this, so what we're going to do is we're going to come back to Mudbox in our next video in part 2. I'll see you then.